Yeah, when I teach my week on De las Casas and I'm using kind of his work and contrasting it with Waman Poma, I put up an excerpt from De las Casas, and I have students read it aloud, and it's quite graphic because it's a description of essentially Spanish soldiers massacring defenseless indigenous people, in particular women and children. So I have students read it, and it's really hard for them to read once they realize what's going on. And one of the things that I talk about is how the rhetorical strategy that De las Casas is using, because he's trying to reach these European readers. And again, in Europe at this time, not many people are literate. So he's really writing for a specific audience that has absolutely no reason to have sympathy for indigenous people of the Americas. They're very far away. So De las Casas is using the images of women, he uses the images of children, the images of, I remember one of the lines is essentially the Spanish soldiers are laying bets on who they can kill the fastest. And this is shocking. And that's what De las Casas meant to do. He meant to shock the conscience. It's quite different from a human rights report of today because there's no date, there's no place, there's no names. And in fact, he did not witness this. He heard it secondhand from other priests or other travelers, but he was able to consolidate these stories into such a moving document that was meant to move the heart. And he was, to some degree, successful because there were reforms that the Spanish crown implemented, not reforms that were nearly extensive enough for sure. But it does show that his technique of trying to reach his own people, his own communities, his own government was to some degree effective. And I think that is something I take to heart as someone who I still consider myself a human rights advocate. Like, don't belittle the power of a story. And that's what De las Casas is trying to do. He's trying to tell a story that will reach people even far away, and people, again, have no reason to feel any sympathy for indigenous people.